Welcome to the SlapDuck podcast. I'm your host, Sully Iqbal, aka Pitstick Glue Sniffer, and I'm joined by
George Gessie, aka the jazz singer.
Oh Baby, and
Luca.
Luca doesn't have a nickname.
No, what is happening?
You can find us on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Radio Haver at 8 p.m. GMT on a Tuesday. We're going up on a Tuesday. I think I did that right.
Good.
So,
all right, George, you want to kick us off?
we have a structure now.
Right. So this
Go
one might rile a few feathers,
Ooh, ruffle
and
them.
that's probably the better word to use.
What?
Ruffle.
Ruffle.
So, like over the Christmas period,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Christmas.
No, that's wrong. It was in January.
Yeah,
I
it was
was
the
I was back at
of this
home
January.
in January, like early January, and my sister was watching this documentary, which was the RKelly documentary.
Yes.
Surviving RKelly.
Yeah.
And like, I'd like to hear your thoughts about RKelly first before I get into the meat of what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Not a good man.
You don't like RKelly?
No, I mean, I used to like listen to his music a lot, and then like the whole R. Kelly thing came out, and I just don't like listening to his music
Okay, fair
anymore.
enough.
It's just like it. I can't say I don't want to say it's a shame because that's not what I mean, but like it's just my dickhead.
Fair play. Fair play.
Okay, yeah.
What about you?
I've never really been someone that's into R. Kelly. I know R. Kelly songs. At karaoke, we used to do like Remix to Ignition because everyone fucking knows that. And when you're a bit drunk, it's great. Same thing like, was it I Believe I Can Fly? I remember like the beginning of Space Jam, that song playing. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. Never really been big into him. And then I remember however long ago, like the news came out that he likes to pee on little girls and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, like I didn't have an opinion on him beforehand, and then kind of read up on it a bit, or at least the information was out at that time. And was like, oh, this guy's
Yeah,
He's not.
he's a wrong un.
good person.
He's a wrong un indeed.
Yeah.
Good.
So the point I wanted to raise
Yes.
in this space, because I've done it, I've asked a few of my other close friends and stuff, and I've got their opinions. I just wanted to get your opinion.
Okay.
On it. The argument was, the artist and the art. Is
Yes.
Can you
I've got an
separate
example.
that? Can you separate the artist from the
Okay.
art?
I've got two examples. Maybe.
I got loads.
I'll go with you first. Sully.
Okay, so
What do you
one
think?
that's probably close to me and sort of relevant. I've spoken about him on the podcast before. Hulk Hogan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's not a real person. He is Terry Brooks or something. Terry whatever. He's a racist man.
Mhm.
A few years ago,
Sorry,
he
guys.
said some racist stuff, and
Wasn't he? Didn't he said something racist in a sex tape or thing?
I'm not
Oh,
100%. I think both things came out around the same
Okay.
time, so I don't really know, but I just know what he said.
Mm.
And this is really relevant for me because recently there was this like legendary wrestling announcer died, and he was very influential in wrestling history, and he was very close to Hulk Hogan.
Right.
So the WWE, after having Hulk Hogan off their television for 3 to 4 years because of what he said, they recently said, "Oh, it's okay, he's back in the fold now," which I wasn't a fan of.
Right.
But he was never on TV. He was on a show in Saudi Arabia, but they bought him. He was on TV on recently to commemorate the life of this guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it felt like they were pulling a sneaky one, saying, oh, okay, they're commemorating this guy. No one's going to boo him because he's commemorating a guy who's died.
Right.
And that just felt wrong.
So like shady behavior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't separate. People are like in the comments are like, yeah, but Hulk Hogan, the character, didn't say that. So you can't hate Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
I'm just, but I don't want to see a guy that hasn't even apologized for what he said.
Yeah.
Like, I'd maybe be able to be like, it doesn't even affect me personally because what he said isn't about me, but like it's just like he apologized, but he never apologized for what he said. He apologized by saying, "You never know what people are filming."
Right. That's not an apology.
It's not. I've seen the error of my ways. I said something racist. I've grown as a person,
Yeah.
and I've learned that that's wrong. He said, "Oh, you never know who's filming you." Cunt.
Go for it.
Don't like Hulk Hogan. Obviously, buried young talent.
We've talked about this.
Yeah. So and like there's like other examples I've got, but
Yeah, like some of the examples that I've got is I love the Lethal Weapon movies.
mm-hmm.
Mel Gibson's the lead in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Right.
They're
And it's the
responsible
sort of
for all the wars in the world.
It's weird. Because it's things like he came out and said some not very nice things. Obviously, I don't think he's apologized for them. He just kind of slowly come back in after being away for a while.
Yeah.
As a lot of things tend to happen. It looks like same thing with Hulk Hogan. And I don't know if I'm right with people coming back, but their past work, it's kind of like hit or miss me. I think it depends on the severity of what they're.
So you said hit or miss, and
Whoops.
oh god, sorry, carry on.
I think it depends on the severity of what they've done.
Yeah.
To I'm trying to think of the right way of saying this, but you compare something like what Mel Gibson did in comparison to say what Hulk Hogan did or what RKelly is rumored to have done.
I think that's.
I think it's pretty straight on that he's done it, but
it's proof, isn't it?
Is there now proof?
I don't know.
Well, lots of in the documentary, lots of people come forward and talk about that the girl in the video like is related to one of the people on the show,
right?
And she's talking about the whole thing and all this sort of stuff, and it sort of trickles down, and all this sort of jazz.
And I think it's hard. Is the person sorry for what they've done in the past? Now they're trying to move past it, or are they just hoping people have forgotten about it? Like, I still love the Lethal Weapon movies, and every time, I don't watch them as regularly as I used to, but like I watched one over Christmas because they're kind of set at Christmas, and I love the movie, but the entire time I'm watching it, I'm kind of like, do you have to do that?
Yeah,
because it's kind of like it sours the taste just a little bit.
Yeah,
it's like for me, it sours the taste just a little bit. You look at something like the Lost Prophets and what their lead singer did. I cannot listen to Lost Prophets music anymore. They have some belters out there, but I can never listen to them again.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I mean by the severity of what they've done. It's kind of like they said some bad things and it sours the art they've done before. I'm not going to watch any of their new art, but the stuff from a while back, inside I'm like, oh, should I be watching this? But I still, because I loved it as a kid or loved it as a teenager, it's trying to think of it.
Place.
But when someone does something so heinous as what the guy from Lost Prophets done and sort of what RKelly's done at this point, I think it does spoil stuff even retroactively.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry, excuse me. Me and my girlfriend had this conversation, and I think her point of view spoke volumes for me, and it was the art and the artist are joined. You can like the art objectively, but the knowledge that, like, for example, like I had your release radar on Spotify. Well, you haven't got Spotify, have you?
No.
Well, on Spotify, every week they give you a release radar of new songs that have come out.
Okay.
And stuff.
Cool.
It's a really cool thing, and it kind of like there's sometimes it has titles. It's like, because you like this band, we're going to show you this.
Yeah, Apple Music has a similar thing. It's like new for you. Kind of
so when I was when I was listening to my release radar, I heard a song come on. I was like, oh, this sounds kind of cool. What is this? I looked, and it was Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I was going to say,
I
don't feel right listening to Chris Brown. But I love Little Dicky, but the song Freaky Friday was like, I'd listened to it once, and then it was like, oh shit, this is Chris Brown, and then I just didn't really like it.
Yeah.
Like, I loved all of I love Little Dicky's rap.
Yeah, he's great.
Like, his lyrics are great, but then even the song, he's like, oh, it's so cool being Chris Brown, and I'm like,
is it?
Yeah.
Like, is it though? But yeah, like that. I heard that song, and then I started to, consciously think about it. Like, oh, actually, I'm liking a song from a guy that, he beat Rihanna.
Yeah.
He's been known to assault women.
Yeah.
He's been
Yeah.
known to threaten women and stuff. And then like as I was watching the RKelly documentary as well, it was like, oh my God, this guy has written songs about like literally written songs about like having sex with underage girls, which is like, come on, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Incriminating yourself right now. But also he wrote like I Believe I Can Fly, which is like one of the greatest.
It's a great
like,
song.
it feels inspirational, fills
Yeah.
you up. And like in the documentary they say like they play this song in black churches and stuff. Like churchgoers love this song. But he's committing heinous crimes and stuff. So it becomes a point of the art and the artist. The art can be devalued through your knowledge of what the artist has done. Like I can love, let's think of a song, the remix to Ignition.
Yeah.
I can think, oh my God, yeah, when that comes on, that's fucking lit.
Yeah.
I'm so up for it.
Yeah.
But now, like more and more so you think, RKelly isn't a great guy.
Yeah.
He did this to this girl and he does this to this girl and he's controlling and da-da-da. And you're like, this has soured my thought process on this song and his whole catalogue as well.
Yeah, it's
the same with Chris Brown. I like that. I like the song, but I can't take it away from what he's done.
Yeah, I find it hard to take that kind of stuff away.
And it's like, should that be the case? Or do you feel like it's an inevitability? Inevitability?
Yeah. Well, like we could look at it from like not just a music standpoint of like a film standpoint. Lots of the Me Too movement has kind of revealed lots of actors.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Like one of my favorite movies in the world is Seven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
No, not Morgan Freeman. Oh no, Morgan Freeman's just cheating, isn't he?
No, he's under investigation. I don't know if he's. I don't
know if he was.
Don't quote me on that.
Someone was cleared though. I don't know who though.
All right, Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah. That's so infuriating.
I can't watch Baby Driver.
Absolutely infuriating.
I absolutely loved
Baby Driver.
Then this stuff came out.
It's such a great fucking movie, and now I'm like, do I let it tarnish some of my favorite movies ever made because they were a small part in it?
See, it's a tough one. It's a tough argument, and like that's why I wanted to bring it up because I thought it'd be a nice thing to attack and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the more I when I speak about it, it's more like me thinking out loud. Like, is this right? Is this not all right? Like, how far is too far? Like, what people have done. There's no statute of limitations on that kind of stuff, really. I don't think there should be, even if I don't know what the laws are.
I think legally there is, but
there shouldn't be.
Like
rape is rape.
Yeah, what's the word I'm thinking? Like socially, there shouldn't be.
No, and I think especially in the modern day, like we've joked about like the whole snowflake culture and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't, especially in that regards where someone has quite literally hurt another human being and fucked with them not just physically but mentally.
Yeah.
No, that shouldn't be let go because they did it 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They've done that.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my topic. Fucking somber as fuck.
It's a dark opening.
We're a comedy podcast.
Sorry.
No,
shit.
From knowing what Sully's topic is and the fact that we're going into this one next.
Okay, no, let's go to Lucas' topic and then we'll think about going to my topic.
Yeah.
So
I knew I'd ruin it.
No,
no,
it's fine. It's good that we're addressing like actual real life things.
Yeah, like
I think it's part of the evolution also of this podcast where it'd be nice for us to.
Loki did a good thing.
Okay, hopefully this
brightens the mood.
I don't want to go too bright with it, so it's something hopefully in the middle.
Okay.
What is the best genre?
Brighter.
The best genre?
What is the best genre?
That's such a broad question.
I don't mean within music. I mean in a storytelling term. So in like books, video games, TV.
Oh, not
film.
music.
Oh, you
not
mean
music? No, because music. I think.
Wait.
You talk about.
Are you talking about genre or medium?
Genre.
So
horror, sci-fi, drama.
Because music, there's so many subgenres.
Yeah, music is a separate beast.
I see. Okay.
In like the storytelling medium.
Do you just want one genre to encapsulate all of them? Because that's hard.
No,
and
I'd say
nice.
What is the best genre? Like my favorite genre is sci-fi. I think sci-fi can encapsulate so many kind of different ideas. Like you can have sci-fi set in the 1800s. You can have sci-fi set nowadays. You can have sci-fi set 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
And there are so many storytelling potentials within the concept of science fiction.
Okay. Yeah.
That is,
Cool.
it's, I mean, the way I see science fiction is it's purely just asking the question of like, what if this one thing changed, or what if these things changed, or what if this happened, and kind of like running with that idea.
Yeah.
Is time travel sci-fi?
For the most part, yeah. Unless it's like fantasy time travel, which is, I guess, more fancy. But yeah, if it's like they have a little stopwatch and a device.
Okay,
It's like, I think the time travel within, say, Harry Potter, the third Prisoner of Azkaban, that's probably more like a magical
Spoiler
fantasy.
alert.
I think.
Oh,
Sorry for ruining fucking Prisoner of Azkaban. Spoiler alert as well. It's got a shitty fucking werewolf in it.
Oh, we had this.
We
fight
had this
already.
one, but
We
it's
had this
terrible.
fight already.
All right.
Listen to one of
Can
our
I-
older
I'm gonna jump
podcasts.
in.
to find out.
Yes, please do jump in.
Plugging I think my favorite genre is like adventure fantasy stuff.
Okay.
So, because like my favorite series of films is the Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah.
It absolutely, it speaks to me.
Okay.
Academy Award-winning Lord of the Rings.
Ugh.
They had a clean sweep at the Oscars.
Ooh, baby.
They
Did
won
they?
everything.
Well,
Yeah.
no, Return of the King, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, everything that-
It was
They
kind of
won
like,
everything.
oh, they did this thing, and we should really give them some awards.
No, it's everything they were
No,
not.
everything. They were like
I don't think it was
costume,
yeah.
music, best actor, did the
everything they were nominated for. They won.
Yeah, it was sick. The bit, shut up, bro.
I
I'm
just
so
know-
annoyed.
Vigo. It was Vigo who won for best actor. Or was it?
I can't remember.
It wasn't Frodo,
No, I think it was Viggo Mortensen.
was it?
Can we get him out of here?
It was Viggo Mortensen, I think.
It
who
wasn't
won
that dumbass.
It wasn't Elijah Wood.
It wasn't
What a
Oh,
dumbass.
it's such a waste
He was,
of that movie.
he was great in Spy Kids 3.
I like Elijah Woods.
I'm the guy.
Now that's a deep cut, Sully.
That's no, like it's my favorite. I feel like a personal genre that I love is like magical realism. I don't know if it's a genre or if it's just something that people do, but like Harry Potter is essentially that.
Yeah.
It's set in modern day,
Yeah.
but there's like fantastical elements that happen
yeah.
and all this. I love that stuff. Like there's a film coming out soon. It's like it's a film about King Arthur, but it's like a kid in like a secondary school, and he's like just
Really?
doing
Oh.
secondary school stuff.
But
and
it's
then he's
the
like-
King Arthur story.
Yeah, but it's him, and like
Okay.
it looks like it's aimed towards children.
Okay,
I think.
But I'm genuinely like,
excited.
I would
I
probably go see
think-
that.
I think that's a copy of Disney's Avalon High, which was just which was the King Arthur story in a high school. And guess who Arthur was? A woman.
Oh my!
And the knights were
Plot twist.
all the knights were American football players.
Oh,
and the
Christ.
teams.
Okay.
No,
So it was a cash grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch Avalon High. No, as in not real American football players. Boys played American football.
Oh
Yeah,
you
I
shouldn't
get
play
ya.
fucking concussions on that.
Oh,
Jesus, don't
Who?
get
Yeah.
start concussions in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get
King
started.
Cushions.
I thought you were talking about Kim Kardashian there.
No, okay. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Avalon High, watch
Adventure fantasy. Fantasy, is that a genre?
Fantasy,
Adventure is a genre.
Yeah.
I guess. Right.
I'd say fantasy.
Has there ever been a fantasy movie that wasn't an adventure?
Warcraft.
Maleficent.
In theory, that's an adventure because they're going on an adventure within a fantasy world, aren't they?
I
Maleficent.
suppose it's less about an adventure and more of like two worlds colliding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I actually watched Warcraft, which not many people have.
I loved. Oh, did I love it? No, I didn't. I loved the opening scene
Yes.
where it's like that guy and the orc are like circling each other, gonna fight. You're like, oh my god, this is gonna be sick. This film's gonna be wicked. And then it's like, no.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it ever crashed, but no, I just didn't think it was.
And as much as I love the guy who plays Ragnar in Vikings,
Damn, what a name.
I love him, but he just played Ragnar in Vikings in
Okay.
Warcraft, and I'm like, Ragnar, what are you doing? Sorry,
No, it's
You're gonna
that's
say
fine.
something?
Unless that's what he was directed to do.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
Could
like
be really
they get
bad direction.
typecasted.
that's a good point actually. I can't say that he's a bad actor.
But saying that, he should have maybe. You're allowed to, as an actor, say.
I don't really want to play
Why am I
Ragnar.
playing Ragnar?
I'm-
Can I try?
Wasn't
this?
Was he the orc?
No, he was the human.
Oh shit! I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
The-
Yeah. He was basically just.
Them
Same.
flowing
Ragnar.
locks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
I think he was one of the worst parts of that movie. Personally.
cool. I like Ragnar, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's every fantasy movie I see. They're going on an adventure in this fantastical world. Even Warcraft, it's that guy going on an adventure, and oh no, this is coming. They have to get from like point A to B.
Okay.
Don't they?
Yeah.
It's not like it's like stuff like within, say, a sci-fi thing. It might happen within a room. It might happen within like a castle, where it's very rare that you see kind of a single location or kind of not much movement within a fantasy world because there is so much to show.
You see, like, just you saying that has because while you've been speaking, I've been thinking about this thing. I really should have been listening. I apologize.
That's fine. You don't
But
need
I've
to
been
listen
thinking
to
about
Luca.
like I really want there to be a fantasy film that's quite like The Hateful Eight. Have any of you seen The Hateful Eight?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Like,
The Hateful Eight takes place in one room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love there to be like a fantasy film that's like brings loads of different characters. Like you don't need like awesome effects.
it's
You
just
don't
an
need to
tavern or
show
something.
that. Yeah, like
It's just
it would be so cool.
would be great.
Like if
That'd
it
be
was
awesome.
just because I feel like like fantasy can be the theme, the setting, but then you've got like a great like a drama that
Yeah.
because I feel like people don't take fantasy that seriously. But it's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a fucking orc running over. Oh, how
a
pretty!
fantasy movie
there's a
isn't going to
princess
win an
over there.
Oscar.
Exactly.
Except for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but if there,
I
if it
don't. I
was-
think if you did Lord of the Rings now, it wouldn't win.
Bitch.
I don't know about that. It's pretty big, man.
No, I think part of why it won was on its technical merit, where nowadays there is so much. I mean that was something that kicked off like motion capture, at least in
yeah,
like the form of like Gollum and stuff.
Mm.
Motion capture was before, but that was like the thing that showed it was plausible in a movie and doable in movies.
yeah,
I think from that kind of regards,
Mm.
lots of the technical awards it definitely won off the back of that,
Yeah.
and just I think just the gravitas that something like a Tolkien adaptation had, I think it had more of a chance of winning. I don't think, I don't know, if you just took a fantasy book and did a really amazing adaptation of a fantasy book, I don't think it'd win.
really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
See,
Especially with the modern kind of Oscar movies. Like, do you see a superhero movie ever winning? Do you see?
I do.
I wish I could. I don't
I
think it will.
personally believe that it doesn't matter about theme or setting. It just matters about who's in it, how they portray this character.
Mm.
Is this character believable? Like, I don't know if anybody saw the Spider-Man film,
Oh,
Oh,
I
which
watched-
one?
Into the Spider-Verse.
yes.
Did you all
Fucking-
watch it?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
want to watch it at least 4 more times.
How great is that film?
That movie should win every single thing it's nominated for
I mean, it really and truly
It
should win
has
animation,
so far.
right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
has
anything
to.
that looks so
won the-
incredible from an
won the
animation
Golden
standpoint.
Globe.
It's mad. It did win the Golden Globe, which I
But-
was so proud.
Yeah, but the
of.
Golden Globes are a bit.
Yeah, but
still won.
but there were
Bohemian
dec-
Rhapsody won Best Drama at the Golden Globes, so let's just kind of like.
there were
Did
dec-
you not like
that.
Bohemian
I
Rhapsody?
thought it was a very bland
Oh.
movie.
I heard it wasn't worth
Although
it shouldn't be like Oscar worthy. I heard it was never going to be Oscar.
I can kind of like, as much as I want to disagree with you right now, I can kind of see that in that film they had Queen's music, and everyone was like, "Oh, we fucking love Queen's music. Queen's the greatest band in the world."
Yeah.
And then it was like, let's make a film with it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I think
the
Rami
thing that
Malek,
carries that film is the music. Although Rami Malek is mint.
he is
He's so good.
incredible in that movie. I just think the movie itself, it felt very pulpy in its way of, let's gloss over all the stuff that people really shouldn't know about. Like, you didn't really learn about any of the other guys except for Freddie, really.
Yeah, I did wanna
It
know
just
more about
glossed
Brian
over
than that.
their entire lives, and it was just
Mm.
like, here's Freddie, which is great, but make a Freddie Mercury movie, don't make a Queen movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it just felt like you can almost feel like the current bandmates just tampering with the movie. Oh, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this
Yeah.
way. It felt wrong. Also, the timeline in the movie is completely wrong,
I know.
Mm.
which is
Okay.
another.
Still
issue.
a good time.
It's a good
I
time,
did
but I
enjoy
don't
it.
think it's like
Yeah.
worthy of awards.
Okay.
Personally, except for Rami Malek, I think he was fantastic.
Right, Sully.
Your favorite genre?
I don't know how to describe the genre exactly. I know how to describe it in books. In books, it's called literary fiction. I guess in movies and everything else, it'd just be called drama.
Yeah.
Where it's something that's not a very specific genre. Like, it's not fantasy, it's not sci-fi. It's just almost real life stuff that's basically real life is what I like. Like, I'd even include. We spoke about this in the last podcast, but even like the Rocky movies, I'd call drama.
Yeah. They're sports drama, but
they're
dramas.
Sports, yeah, but they're just drama. There's no real thrills to it. When you boil down to it, it's about a guy.
It's human.
It's about humans, about life. My favorite books are just about people. Like, I mean, I appreciate fantasy books and sci-fi books. There's some really great ones. But my favorite books are usually by Japanese authors because their books are just about life. There'll be like some things that are thrown in there, like, I don't know, dream sequences that, but they sort of describe them as it's someone's conscious playing out in their mind. So my new favorite book is called If Cats Disappeared from the World, which
I saw somebody reading that on the train.
It was the most. It's like that's got a touch of fantasy in it because it involves like the devil, but it's also portrayed as maybe that's just his self-conscious talking to himself.
That's cool.
So, or like I said, the Rocky movies are just life. So, or even like The Favorite, which is a banging movie.
That is a fantastic movie.
Don't take a date because you can't miss it. Don't miss any of The Favorite because
it's not a good first date movie because you can't like interact with the date. You just got to watch it.
Yeah.
Which is the favorite? Sorry,
Olivia Colman, Emma Stone.
Yes.
Costume drama.
I mentioned it earlier. What am I doing?
Yeah. It's
Fantastic.
a fantastic movie, and it's just people's lives. There's no great big battle coming. There's no.
I do appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just the hard. I mean, personally, I think just the hardest hardest genre to do because you can't, like, Harry Potter relies so much on this fantastical world around it and the griffins and the fucking skeleton boys.
Yeah.
Dementors.
Yes. Okay.
I was wondering where you was going with skeleton boys.
So, like, that's.
I mean,
even Star Wars like relies a lot on.
I agree. Like,
space.
My girlfriend showed me a show called War and Peace.
Yeah,
you know the book.
Fantastic book.
Fucking massive.
I've not seen the show.
But like the show is like, I didn't think I'd like it initially.
Yeah.
But the more I watched it, the more it grew on me, and the more I started to like develop a relationship with these characters.
Yeah.
And how much I hated some of them, and how much I like really cared for about some of them. And that is essentially just humans talking to each other. And I completely like. It's kind of like, how do you make something so interesting that we could do ourselves?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what makes it so interesting. And so like, oh my God, Pierre's doing this thing and Andre's going off to war and da-da-da-da. And, oh, let's talk about family life and da-da-da-da. It's like, why is this so enthralling? I love this.
Like, even, I mean, we spoke about it in the last podcast again, but Game of Thrones, the best part of Game of Thrones is the people.
The human moment.
The human aspect of it is.
Would you say that
personally?
I think Game of Thrones. It's the majority of it is that it's the human interaction. It's people fucking each other over. It's people,
literally fucking each other. You know, oh baby.
Yeah. But then you do have kind of that wider scale.
Yeah, I think
as well.
That's the good thing about Game of Thrones. It's a good blend of the two.
Yeah, there's a series of books, science fiction genre called The Gap Saga or The Gap Cycle.
Okay.
It's 5 books. And it's the way I would personally describe it. It's the Game of Thrones of sci-fi.
Yeah,
where it takes science fiction and it has the science fiction tropes, but it feels tactile.
Yeah,
it has that sense of realism to it. It also has those kind of multiple story threads going on at once. There's like what's going on Earth is this like basically political side of things. There's an adventure side of things going on with like this escapee that's trying to survive. There's eventually, like I think it's like the 3rd book, they eventually find the threat, which is like these aliens. There is way more to it, and it kind of all comes together.
Yeah,
and it's solely sold on the characters. Like one character starts off as a horrible human being, yet gets put through this massive ordeal and by the end of it, you don't forget what he's done, but you kind of let him go.
Yeah,
it's a very weird kind of.
I feel like that is the best part of any villain. Is as soon as you understand why they're doing the things that they're doing, And if you agree with them and stuff, you're like, oh, they're good. They're a good, because as soon as they're like, oh, if they're evil for the sake of being evil, it's like, this is boring.
Yeah, it's cliched.
But if if they're trying to bring their wife and child back through a different parallel universe, and
Spider-Verse,
and you're like, oh yeah, oh no, I can understand his motivation for this now.
Honestly,
absolutely,
that's why Infinity War is such a good movie.
Oh my god, yeah,
because Thanos is just
he's perfect.
He's not a villain for the sake of being a villain. It's like you almost sympathize with him at points in that movie. And like you don't want to, because this dude's gonna kill everyone, but it's like,
but he still has to make hard decisions. and all these things.
It's not for him. It's like a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
To like get to like the end of what he believes is the right thing to do for the universe. It's not him going, I want to rule it. It's I want to save it.
Yeah.
Even if I have to do this super dark thing.
Yeah.
And I should do it.
And I'm the only one that is willing to do it.
Yeah.
Which.
Oh, it's so good.
Which is why it's so good.
Yeah.
I think you could have had Thanos being like, I want to get rid of everyone because then no one can stop me.
I want to be the best.
No. The idea of like not humanity, but civilization. Everything will implode because we're consuming more than we can create. Yeah. Let's fix that.
Yeah.
But then by fixing that, it's like, imagine how much you are actually destroying.
Yeah. And if you
like,
had a stone
relationships in infrastructure, like snap, if there's a snap and like your mum and dad are gone,
it would be super sad. But it's because me and my parents have actually discussed this.
Shit, Luke is on that Reddit thing. Reddit's / Thanos did nothing wrong or something. He's the one who started
did you see what they did with that? Where
did they ban it or something?
No, what they did was. The moderators did like a virtual snap, and half the people got banned.
Whoa, that was lit.
That's cool.
It's such a cool idea.
That's lit.
No, me and my dad have actually spoken about this, and we've discussed, did Thanos do the right thing?
Yeah.
And we both come out the other side going, yeah. And it's like we us being us, we wouldn't want that to happen. You wouldn't want half of everything to go because the sadness that would come from it. But you look at like the world as it is today, and there is more people than there's ever been, and it's only going to get more. We're worried about food shortages in the future. We're worried about global warming.
True.
If you went and that was kind of stopped,
but surely I think
there are alternatives.
There are alternatives which I mean, I don't know how viable they are. I'm not a scientist boy. I'll leave that to Elon Musk and his fucking car in space. What a weird man.
What a legend.
One alien.
I love the two different things. What a weird man, what a legend.
But yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess in my opinion, you just have to think of, hey, why don't we do a thing where we make people use less fuel?
Or if he had the power to, like, you know, he had, what is it, like a creation stone or something? What has he got?
The reality stone,
power stone, soul stone, mind stone.
Is the reality stone where you can change the fabric of reality, where you can turn
change
people into like springs? And stuff.
Yeah, you can change reality, but at least from what it was in the movie, it changed people, and then when he was gone, it reverted back.
Well, I think it's just a thing he controls.
So, like, arguably, he could have made the Earth bigger.
He could have made the universe
bigger
to
compensate for more people.
I mean, then what happens with the universe itself? Like, actual physics comes into play then, where, like, if our world is bigger, what happens with the things orbiting our world? What happens with our orbit around the sun? Does it throw everything out of course?
But saying that, when Thanos snapped, was it just human type things that went, or was it everything?
Everything.
Then that's ecosystems destroyed.
Is it?
Yeah,
because you're half an ecosystem, so there's half of everything. So it's not like.
But if you think about it, does that include? This is why the movie's so good.
Yeah.
Does it include stuff like, I don't know, you got a deer. Deers eat a certain amount of
a deer, a female deer.
Oh Christ!
Ray, a drop of golden sun.
But like
me.
Sorry. If you've got a deer that is going to eat X amount of grass, and then that deer is eaten by
dragon.
sure, whatever, dragon.
Mhm.
If that deer doesn't eat X amount of grass, there's too much grass. Everything overgrows everywhere. Shit gets destroyed.
No more
Does it get
dragons.
destroyed? Because in theory, we're destroying nature. That would just give nature a time to come back. Because that's the problem, isn't
But the
it?
thing is, nature.
Because if we're the ones that are taking more from nature than it can give, that would give nature a chance to rejuvenate, to fill its batteries again, to
But then
recharge.
what if there's too much nature?
Is that really a problem?
I do like nature. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Without
no,
nature,
yeah,
well,
there's nothing
boys.
wrong with
Without
nature.
nature, we're all dead. With more nature,
We're all alive.
we're all alive
more.
still. It's
Unless
just nature.
something goes wrong.
Unless we're no longer on top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Unless dragons start to
Why?
realize.
But why would that change anything? Why would there be half of everything? Because in theory, what you're doing is just taking everything and making it a smaller scale of itself.
But-
But the through lines are still there.
See, it's
Saying that, if you can't just double the size, then everything's still there as well. If you double the size of the Earth, you can double the size of the distance between the Earth and the Sun.
I
And
don't.
doubles
I don't know if that
all that jazz.
well, it would have that sense, kind of,
and also-
that sense of power to it.
I
Oh,
don't
but then
know-
you double the time, so we wouldn't have 24-hour days.
We'd have 48-hour days.
Oh, okay. I also want. There's something about that I want to talk about as well afterwards. Forget my subject. I want to talk about that
All right.
afterwards.
Then I think we can conclude this subject by saying, from the back of this debate, science fiction's probably the best genre. We had that big fucking debate about
it's
it.
not.
No. What up?
It's not.
That's BS.
Okay. All right.
But guys, Sally,
This might break your minds.
Bring it.
because I don't know how to describe it.
smash
exactly.
them.
Okay. So it's going back to that book I was telling you about called "If Cats Disappeared from the World,"
Yes.
and there was a thing about time and clocks and stuff, and basically. I always bring this up, and everyone's like, "You're a fucking crazy person," and that doesn't make sense. But this book very aptly described what I was trying to say, so definitely read it. Time
Mhm.
is a human construct.
Yes.
Yes,
Sort of, yeah.
It's not a thing.
Like
Ti-
we gave
Well,
days.
it's a unit of it's a unit of
Yeah,
measurement that we gave to certain aspects
But
of
it's-
how the world moves.
But it's not a thing. Like, we could literally have just said, "Oh, there's 4 billion days in a year."
Hmm.
It's
The time is basically it's a unit of measurement.
exactly, and
That's what it is.
but it's not a real thing.
Well, I think the unit of measurement, as in time, is based off of at least the way the world moves around the sun. So in theory,
Well-
that's the anchor for what we believe time is.
Yeah, but that could have been anything.
It could have been anything.
Hmm.
We could have done it that time is a year is how the moon moves around us.
But not even But it's not even that. It's just not there.
I mean,
time's not. It's not a thing.
are you sure?
Yeah, it's
I
just
feel
not
like time is a
there.
thing. It's just the thing that we call time is there. It's not something you could touch, but
Yeah,
it's something
no,
that you
the
can
thing-
witness.
Like the sun moving is a thing. And
Well,
that's
people aging is
Yeah.
a thing. We call the thing the period time.
Yeah.
Well, we could call the period rabbits. You are 12 rabbits old, and that's a 40-year-old person that we call now.
I like that.
That is just a word
Yeah.
that we've assigned to a measurement that we've deemed. It's like something like the kilogram.
Yeah.
I know this might be a bit of a weird one, but the kilogram is a unit of measurement.
Yeah.
It's a unit of measurement for weight. There is a kilogram.
Yeah.
Someone's made that kilogram and said that is a kilogram.
Yeah.
Now, we could go in, cut it in half and say, that's a kilogram.
Yeah.
Then everything gets doubled.
Yeah.
We
exactly.
could go in, shave a little bit off the side, and then it changes everything. But that is a reference point for
Yeah.
what we use. So the reference point for what we call time is what we've deemed it as us going round the earth.
But now think about
So,
but now think about life before we invented that.
it was the exact
How
same.
fucking insane is that? Because we don't know what their concept was.
Or there was probably no concept. There was just days. Like
Exactly,
they had the
there was-
cyclical day, but that was it.
Magic thing in sky, we hunt. Magic thing go, sleep.
Yeah.
That's how I think. it
When we
is.
can see, we hunt. When we can't see, we hide.
But that you can basically apply that to anything. This thing where numbers also.
Yeah.
Well, not numbers.
I
sort of
think
plays
I get
into
what
the
you're
time
saying.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Well, it's like
I'm not
What
describing-
dignifies a 4 to be a 4?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is 4 4?
I'm not
Yeah,
explaining
we
it
could-
very eloquently,
Well,
but
like, what if the person that's coming up with the names just said, "Well, 4 is 5 and 5 is 4."
yeah,
Then
Then-
we would
then we're
think
fucked.
oh,
1,
that's
2,
5,
3,
that's 4.
4.
and that's how we would see it. Or like you could call it like
we add a number called spoing,
yeah.
Oh, I love spoing. That's
and it
wicked.
comes
And
after
that is
9.
that is no, yeah, it comes after 9 but before 10.
Yeah,
So 10 is now 11.
Everything changes,
And everything revolves around
Yeah.
11s.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
How everything just changes with
But-
one.
But that's
With a
that, I think-
swing.
That would one spoing would destroy the world.
yeah, a spying. It's like what was in Community there was like like one of the characters is part of this weird cult, and they make a joke that like he's reading through the pamphlet and it's like if you get to level 5 of it you can see the color blurple. It's the same kind of idea. Like, all right, so this I hope I explained this right, but do you think we all perceive the same colors to be the same thing?
Wait.
Oh, that's something that like.
So, as in you saying that's. Oh, wait, we have a visual aid now.
We have a visual aid now. So
Which is amazing.
say this picture up here.
Yeah.
It's made up of. Sorry, I'm gonna bring purples. It's made of pinks. It's made of blues
Blue and greys.
and greys.
Yeah.
So I see those colors.
Yeah.
What if to you,
Yeah.
that purple actually looks red?
Oh, I see.
But you've always been told that that's purple, so you see
Yeah.
that as purple.
It's a
And I've
learned
always
thing.
been told that red is red, where
Yeah.
actually it's purple too. Like, it's essentially there's no way of us actually, at least I don't think there is a way of us figuring that out as like
Fucking,
what everyone else
probably could
sees
plug
from.
some shit into your head.
Yeah, it's weird.
But what about like eye transplants and stuff?
I don't know.
Of somebody else's eyes.
It could be.
But then that
it's
could
the
be how
internet.
your brain processes things.
Your brain
Yeah.
perceives those
So
things.
what if you had someone else's brain? Would that be a valid?
Well, how would
a
you
valid
know then?
test? Well, there you go. You wouldn't because you'd be someone
Unless you
else.
put your brain in someone else.
Yeah, which is impossible at the moment. I think.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Actually, no,
though.
I think they did do they did a head transplant, then they didn't do
Yeah.
a brain
I
transplant.
think it went awfully wrong as well.
Did it work? I doubt
I mean, the fact that they
worked.
attempted to do it means
I mean, they cloned a sheep. I mean,
True. Dolly.
Let's
what a babe.
go. I'm sick of waiting.
They brought back.
we
like,
need
some
another
fucking
George. What we
deer.
doing? That'd be
Yeah.
a fourth member.
George squared. But then that
George squared.
would that George be like fetus George?
Depends.
Aw,
It wouldn't be full grown George.
No, because it depends on, I guess, the idea of
The
cloning.
type of
If it's
cloning.
the science fiction idea of
Fucking
cloning, where it's
G-
like, bang, it's you now.
GCSE science banging out now.
Well, because the core idea of cloning, at least the way that we do it now, I believe,
Yeah.
it may have changed, is you take the DNA, you pop it in a
Yeah.
womb,
Yeah.
knock out the baby version of it.
We
I
knock
think-
out the
I think
baby
it's
version
It's
of
a
it.
bit more complex than that. If you're
Well,
studying for your biology,
I don't know.
GCSE,
From a
do
human
not-
standpoint, you might quite literally need to knock out
do
some DNA.
not listen to this
Knock
if you're
out
trying to
some-
study for your biology GCSE.
Yeah, you
Um,
won't use it though.
No. Yeah.
Ugh, I
Can
know
we-
I don't.
No, I would love for someone to reference us.
Oh,
That's
God.
my ultimate goal.
That's
be
fucking
true.
dissertation. We're like one of the reference. Number 4, SlapDuck podcast episode. Whatever this
Time
is.
code.
That'd be so dumb.
Oh,
Amazing.
God.
But yeah, so like when you think of like taking it back to the whole time
Yeah.
and what we call things, other languages call numbers different things.
Yeah.
DF.
DF?
That's 10 in Spanish, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought you were just like
Or DF.
missing out a letter when it's DTF.
No.
Or you look at something like,
Down to fun.
I believe in the Chinese
to
language, they
fish.
don't use what we use as numbers. They have their own
Oh.
way of writing it. Or am I wrong?
Ooh,
Maybe,
I
I don't-
wish I
It-
knew.
Because I know
things.
letters, it's
It's-
a different way of writing
It's
it.
confusing because there was the what they used for Mandarin before communism. Now, since communism, they have like pinyin and
But you take something like just what we call things, how we write things.
Yeah.
Like, what if how we wrote a 1 is actually a 7 and how we
Yeah.
write 7 is 1? Or something like 6
Yeah.
is the 1. Like, it's the people that made those up. We've all just agreed on that.
Yeah.
So we've agreed that time is a concept.
Yeah.
We've agreed that, I think, going back to your original point, time is a thing.
Yeah.
We call it time, but
Yeah.
it's never not existed. It existed. We maybe never just perceived it.
And maybe it was just it is just a way for us to mark things down as well.
Yeah.
Like for like historical, what's the word? For like records and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm.
It makes sense to say, you know,
X,
Luca ate
D.
yogurt on a Tuesday of 2019. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not a really, unless it is a big thing. Is that a big thing?
It
We'll
might
find
be.
out in the future.
Oh, God.
That could be the thing that sets off my Infinity Gauntlet, and I do the snap, and it's just goes
Shit.
nuts.
So on Tuesday,
It's,
Yogurt's the reason. What's up,
Yes.
Yo Valley?
It's like, okay, honestly.
sup, yo, fam.
yo there.
But yeah.
It's like, honestly, that's why I think I've seen Back to the Future very few times, and now I'm talking about time travel and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I basically, my brother's never seen the first Back to the Future, so we sat down and Back to the Future 2 was on. I think it was New Year's Day, and he was sat there and he just couldn't wrap his head around anything because he just couldn't understand the concept of the time travel and then everything changing with the time travel.
You see, it's such like, I feel like if you make a film in time travel, you either have to know your shit or be very self-referential.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to do. Like in Back to the Future, there's the whole he goes back in time and he changes this, and this, and when he goes back, everything's different.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that makes sense. But then that means Marty McFly's stuck in a time paradox because he's always going to go and save Doc from the Bulgarians, the Iranians.
I don't know what they
I
are.
can't remember what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's always going to go back, and then he's always going to go back in time to 1985.
Yes.
1985. He's always going to go back there. He's always going to do that shit and come back.
1985.
Oh no, he's from
1950.
1980, so he goes back to 1955, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Then he goes forward
That's
to
right.
2015.
Yeah.
He's going to do all that over and over again.
Yeah.
That's a paradox. And then he comes out of it, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" It's like, "Oh, it is hard to wrap your head around."
Yeah.
So, like, one of the things that every time I watch a time travel anything, my problem is that they still refer to time in a linear standpoint, even when they've gone back and proved that
It's
time isn't linear.
Mm.
Like, they go back in time, it's like, oh, we've only got 4 hours to stop this thing from happening. And then they've got maybe something in the future going, oh, they've only got 45 minutes, so the world's going to implode. It's like, the moment you sent them back, it's either worked or hasn't worked.
Yeah.
In the current
Yeah.
state. They shouldn't be like, oh, we'll see. Oh, we'll only find out if it... No, the fact that you sent them
Immediately.
back,
Yeah.
you would immediately know because you sent them back before you exist.
Yeah.
So it would be an immediate change, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's
And it
what
really
makes
pisses
hurt.
me off.
Yeah.
Like, you watch like Days of Futures Past. Like, I don't think it's an amazing movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. But that's something that pissed me off in it, is it keeps flashing to like the future where they're like sending back. It's like, oh, he's only got this amount of time left. You're like,
yeah.
You sent him back.
Yeah.
it's like, you sent him back. He's
God,
back
yeah.
there.
It would have just been immediately.
It would have been, oh, it's worked. Great. We're safe.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, oh,
Mm.
what's going on? Like, that, I mean, unless there's a scientist out there that wants to write in and be like, actually, no, you're wrong. This is how it would work.
Shit.
That would be amazing. But
I-
to my knowledge, you send something back, then that is moving in a linear from the time
Yeah.
it arrived.
Yeah.
Please, anyone who ever watches or listens to this, please send just maybe this snippet to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, please.
He will. I don't think we can pay him enough to come here, but even just him saying you're wrong, just even that.
No,
would be the
I would
best
love
recognition.
him to say, you're right.
Oh,
Mic drop moment.
Jeez.
Dude.
Oh, I
Jeez.
love Neil so much. He's so,
No.
I want to be his mate. I want to go for like a beer with Neil, or like invite him to like for dinner or something.
Let's do it.
Oh
Let's
God,
do it. If we spam him
Neil.
Yo, tweet,
can I
tweet this out
go
to
on
him.
Star
tweet him.
Talk Radio, please? I love you, Neil.
It's just stuff is life is weird,
Yeah.
and things are weird,
Mm.
and it's just
And maybe if RKelly went back in time,
He can
Maybe-
stop pinning on those girls.
maybe we could appreciate his art very differently.
Mm.
see. Maybe someone has gone back in time and told him to do that because we can't tell
Oh
if time
my
travel's
God.
happened.
No, we would only know if time travel happened if
We
something...
did time travel.
Well,
everything we wouldn't.
then
we
wouldn't we
wouldn't even
remember when we
perceive
came
it
back?
differently. We wouldn't perceive it differently at all.
Yeah, it'd just be what happened.
It's just what happened.
Maybe.
And what
Fuck.
if you go back in time and change something? By changing something, it means there's no time travel. You don't decide to time travel in the future. Does that mean that future you was gone?
That's a time paradox.
And then
No. So one of a movie that I think did it really fucking well.
Looper.
No, About Time.
I was going to say frequently asked
Time
questions
Traveler's
about
Wife?
time travel.
Have you never seen About Time? It's a Richard
so.
Curtis movie.
Yeah,
And
I've seen a bit of it.
I'm a big fan of the movie. I think it's still on Netflix if you're in the UK, so definitely give it a watch.
Netflix. It's
Core
free.
idea is the men in this family can time travel, but only within themselves, basically.
Yes.
So they can go
Okay.
basically send their conscious back in time to
Okay.
another period in time to their body and kind of do something.
Okay.
So the way it works is that they walk into like a closet in a dark room, just think, and then they're back in time. And he uses this throughout his life to kind of to win over his wife, to like go visit his dad who passes away.
That's the movie I'm thinking about. Is that the one with
Domhnall Gleeson.
Domhnall Gleeson. Oh, I
Yes.
thought that was called The Time Traveler's Wife.
No.
Okay.
No.
Time Traveler is, I think that's with Eric Bana.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think might be wrong. But it's a very good way of kind of representing it, because every time he goes back in time, it then snaps to reality and it's changed.
yeah.
And
And it's just changed.
I mean, this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, so skip like 20 seconds ahead.
Wait, we can do a visual thing.
All right,
You do a thumbs up when you, and then do a thumbs up again.
okay,
Yeah?
cool. But if you're just listening to this,
Oh, yeah.
like mute,
I'd
change
do
the
it.
station, something. 30 seconds from now.
Don't change station.
So he goes back in time after he's had a kid to speak to his dead dad, and he goes back to the future, and the kid's changed. The kid is like, it's gone from a boy to a girl, and he goes back in time to his dad. He's like, "What's happened?" He's like, well, "You've had a kid. Every single difference will change in the future. That a different sperm made it to the egg, so it's a different kid.
Yeah.
So we can no longer see his dad again." I mean, the moment that kid's off, I start bawling, trying. It's really fucking sad. But it was a really interesting view on time travel,
Yeah.
because it did change, and the effects were immediate. It wasn't like it went back to into the future. It's like, oh, if he doesn't come back in this time, everything's going to change. It was just there.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, how time travel would be.
Yeah.
It's very
The
good.
only person that would know is the time traveler
traveler
himself. Everyone else wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Which is why, if we can time travel, I don't think we should.
No.
Oh no, that shit should be off limits forever.
Yeah. I don't.
Hey, Trump, don't take out the time travel machine.
He's not smart enough.
I know, but he wants to.
So he never runs for
That's
presidency.
the wall. That's the real wall, man.
That's the real wall.
Yeah, I think that's why
The
he's pushing
time
for it so
wall.
hard. Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. Like, what
Oh
sane
my
man is
God.
just gonna push for a wall that hard? He wants time travel. He
Yeah.
knows they can do it. He's like,
Wait,
we're gonna time travel.
So then he knows they can do it. Like, so he thinks the Mexicans are going to time travel, and
Yes.
if he builds a wall, they'll stop time traveling.
I mean, let's be real. If any nationality on this earth is going to time travel, it's going to be the Mexicans.
Why?
Just they're so cool. I'm just firing stuff out. I apologize to everybody that I've probably offended. I apologize.
How long have we been recording?
Hmm?
How long have we been recording?
I mean, you didn't have to say that, but
That's fine.
I'm monitoring it.
We'll
We got
let the
5 minutes.
people know. See, we want them involved, Luca.
I'm going to cut this part out.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, we got about 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Quick fire round.
Bum, 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 bum.
Who
Wow.
is the most attractive Disney princess?
Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh, okay. No, Disney character.
character.
We're gonna keep.
Oh.
Everyone is on the playing field.
Absolutely. Okay.
Not just women, because we respect them.
I'm
that
saying
makes me
it.
look like an asshole.
I'm saying it. Probably Hercules.
Oh, okay, that's very strong.
Heracles.
Heracles.
That's the correct way of saying it.
Well, it's
Oh.
Hercules in the movie.
That's Heracles in Greek.
Bless my soul.
That's the most douchey thing I've ever
Yes.
said in my life. See, it takes away from what I said about you.
Now people will remember again.
Now people think you're both bad. It's Lilo
Um,
Halo above my
sorry.
head.
Oh, is it Disney? What's her name? What's Lilo's sister called?
Stitch.
Not
It is
Oh, that little
Disney.
blue thing really gets the
It
engine
is
running.
Disney. I don't remember her name. I think it begins with an N.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about, though.
Nani.
Nani. It's something
I
like that.
think
Yeah.
Nani.
Nani.
She's very Nanda. No, Nani, because yeah, she's got a very realistic body proportion. I like it, as opposed to like the weird faces that Disney princesses usually have.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Even though we're not talking about princesses.
Also, most of the Disney princes are like underage.
Exactly.
So we should
Some of them
really
are, some of them aren't.
not-
Depends,
not
doesn't it?
consider them.
I mean, we're not R. Kelly now, are we?
God, Christ. I mean, let's be honest. It's Rafiki.
Wait, which one's Rafiki?
It's a baboon, bro.
Oh, fuck. Fair enough.
Rafiki. Oh, Lord. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
I mean, okay. Let me think of something.
No, who do you think is like,
the one that's meant to be drawn to be the most
attractive? I mean, they're all meant to be
Princess
drawn.
Jasmine.
Probably
Jasmine?
I-
Moana?
She's not. Are
Oh,
we
she's actually
including the
quite
CG in this? Or are we talking classic Disney?
Everything
Everything.
Oh.
minus live action stuff.
Okay. I mean,
So
then-
not Mary Poppins.
Yeah, not Mary Poppins.
no.
Unless you want the penguins.
I mean, don't tempt me, Frodo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think on the men's side of it, they're always, for the most part, the love interests, or so actually sometimes the villains as well.
Gaston's a big boy.
Tend to be kind of muscular, chiseled jaw, like normally have a good chin in them.
Yeah.
The girls tend to be, at least in classic Disney, far more slender.
White.
For the most part, white.
Ooh.
What was it?
Ooh.
Princess and the Frog? Was that like the first?
That was
I
the
mean,
Renaissance. That was the 2D Renaissance.
Oh, okay.
So
I
that was
mean-
after like Tangled and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was
Right.
Tangled and stuff. They brought out the what's it called again? What's
I
it?
think it's just called the
Frog?
Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog. Oh my god, that just left.
But
left my
but
brain. That was weird.
but Mulan wasn't white.
Oh, she's
No.
great. I love
And
her.
Nice
neither
Mulan.
was
And Shang. Oh my god.
Shang.
Shang?
Shang.
Mulan's husband.
Shang.
Oh yeah.
And that's the right way to say it. You don't say Mulan is Shang's wife. You say Shang's Mulan's husband because Mulan's lit.
Ooh.
And Shang's kind of bit shit.
I mean, isn't it the same? Is it like saying it's a tomato's a tomato or a tomato's a tomato? You're saying the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but
Let's
it's
get down to business.
Go
to
on.
defeat.
The Huns.
Duh.
The Huns.
Huns, yeah.
Have you? He's not
Really?
seen Mulan.
Yes,
No,
Are
I've seen
you
Mulan.
joking me
I
right
haven't
now?
seen it in fucking years, but I've seen Mulan.
What? Mate, like
It's not a
all these
regular
references.
feature.
Yes,
all
it
these
is. It's on
references.
TV all the time. You
Where?
have Sky Movies. It's on Sky Disney all the time.
I don't watch Sky Disney.
That's
What's
your
wrong
fault.
with you? What's wrong with
I'm-
Disney?
Nothing wrong with it, but I'm
Mine's
only watching
Wall-E.
more adult things. I guess.
Oh, like
Or no, the robot and the female robot in
Yeah,
Wall-E.
Eva.
yeah, Eva's cool.
Eva.
I don't know. As robots go,
Have you seen Wall-E?
no.
It's been a while since I've seen Wall-E, to be honest.
And never seen Wall-E, never seen Up.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, are you
Up
joking
will
me right
fucking make you cry in the first
In-
10 minutes.
Honestly,
Up is a perfect example of literary fiction.
Okay.
literary fiction.
And-
it's real life. I mean, there's some things that aren't very realistic.
But no, but I think that's a great point to like wrap it up on. Actually,
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, I see. Wrap
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
Gonna wrap it.
Wrap it
up.
up.
I mean, you can't.
Sorry,
say
old
that.
people.
I think
Oh,
they're talking about the film Up.
Yeah,
They're like
Yeah, we're gonna finish the
referencing what I've
podcast
just
and the
said.
film
Yeah.
Up. Go watch it. It's a
Great,
great indie movie that you should check out. It's real great potential there. But yeah,
Real low
thank-
budget.
Thank you for listening to the SlapDuck podcast. As always, we're available on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Radio Haver at 8 p.m. GMT on a Tuesday.
Hey.
Do you boys have anything you want to plug before we end this and ride into the sunset?
Mr. Juji.
I have an art account on Instagram,
Ooh.
and I have
Yeah.
a normal account on Instagram.
Tell me more.
And I like to post there.
Mm.
So if you fancy it, check me out at Goose Jam and Juji Art. And I'm sure like all the links and stuff will be
Yeah, they'll be in the
in the
description.
description.
Also, our email, if there's any scientists out there that want to write in, please
Science
do.
boy.
It's at the slapduckpodcast@gmail.com. No, though.
And I'm going to plug Kayfabe Crimes, the wrestling podcast, which we're doing. It's on YouTube. Kayfabe Crimes, spelled with a K for the crimes.
There's a great anime that's all about wrestling.
And we're out.
It's cool.